said, the patience that he showed. He's a really good player. You take away something, he's going to do something else, and that's just going to continue to happen going forward.
In the first half, you guys, after the 10-0 start, it was pretty stagnant offensively. What were some of the challenges that they were presenting to you guys defensively, and why weren't the shots falling?
Yeah, they play a different style of defense. I think they really swarm the paint, and they send everything baseline, keep you out of the middle. But like you said, I think we were still getting good shots. It's just that they weren't falling. When we go through dry spells like that, we kind of need our defense to keep us in it, which I think it did happen. Going in halftime up 6. But like you said, it's a different type of defense that they play. They hold teams pretty low scoring generally. So we get off to the hot start, and then we kind of just got to stay solid going forward after that, I think.
How big was it to start the game on a 10-0 run?
I think it was really big to start the game on the 10-0 run because it just gave us confidence and it just boosted our energy, and we used that to just propel us to the rest of the game.
Kanye, how do you use your athleticism and quickness and shiftiness, which you saw you had the ball on a string today? How do you use that to get into the paint and kick out to these plenty of shooters that you have on the roster?
Coach Drews does a good job of running different actions that just involve closeout. So I just try to get in the paint and just find the open man, or just make the right play, whether it be scoring, passing, or just finishing the play. If that's what it is.
Kanye, you played 19 minutes today. That's the most you've played in the game this year. How has your confidence kind of developed to this point in the season, and what areas of the game do you think you still need to grow in?
My confidence this season, everybody on the team, from coaches, players, they all been helping me and just telling me just stay engaged and just look at the little things and just take it what we do in practice into the game. And I've been just trying to do that, and I think tonight it showed. And what was the second question?
Just what areas do you think you need to improve in?
The areas I think I need to improve in, just being more vocal, talking to my teammates and on the defense end, just knowing who does what and being more engaged.
Andrew, we've seen you have a little more freedom of movement off the ball, right? It feels like when you are getting grabbed, it's getting called. How much does that help you out, right? When those calls are made and then guys are kind of afraid to touch you, grab your jersey, anything like that?
Yeah, no, it's big. I remember I think it was the first play last game at Wisconsin. We won the tip or whatever. I run out in the corner and someone just kind of checks me into the corner. I'm like, all right, that's the way that the teams are gonna guard me now. So it definitely helps a lot when the refs kind of see that, they see the tugging and kind of puts them on their toes as well. They're like, all right, I can't get as physical, and then they're kind of at my will of where I want to cut. So it's definitely big, getting that first call initially, and then opening things up going forward.
Kanye, kind of play off Seth's question a little bit. How was you came off the court later in the game, and Micah pulled you aside and sat down and talked to you for a couple of seconds there. What has your relationship developed like with Micah over the season, and how much do you soak in the moment like that?
Since the moment I stepped on campus, me and Coach Drews have really seen eye to eye. He's helped me grow in a lot of different aspects, whether it's on the court or even off the court. And just with the moments like that, I try to just use it as a teaching moment, just try to not make the same mistake when I go back in.
Andrew, how do you and the older players deal with a situation like Keva where he's struggling? How important is it to kind of have his back? What kind of messages do you guys give to him when things aren't necessarily going his way?
Yeah, I think with Keva, we're throwing him right into the fire. We have other than him, especially even in our starting lineup, we have 4 dudes that have played college basketball for at least 4 years. So it's all about the learning curve, and Kanye can even talk about it too. They're freshmen. It's going to be a while, and there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. Remember my freshman year, I was way more downs than up, and that's going to happen. So keeping his confidence up, he works his tail off in practice. He gets his work in off the court after that. So keeping his confidence up is big because he's going to be a big part for us going forward.
Jalen was called for 2 offensive fouls today. From what did you see from those 2, and how do you kind of post up the way that he does without getting called for a foul like that?
Yeah, it's, like you said, and him getting called for those 2 is almost I can't remember ones that he's gone earlier in the year. So I think that's honestly a credit to him, how physical he plays and how he's doing it within the rules where refs aren't going to call that on him. So I think it makes it really difficult for other guys to defend. And then, like you said, with the way he posts up and how physical he is, it's just really hard to guard. And he'll probably go back, watch those 2 on film, and probably won't happen again.
Andrew, you had at one point you guys had 5 players on the court who had all had over 1,000 points, and you hit your 250th career 3-pointer tonight. What's it like to know that you have guys on the floor who have such accomplishments like this and who have experience like that?
Yeah, it's it's freeing, honestly. You don't need to rely on you're not like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I got 4 guys around me that are going to do other things, and I think the biggest thing with all those accomplishments is like we don't care about the points. We're all here to win. There's guys who are unselfish. Seth's hitting me on one more. He's picking. They're double teaming Pickett. He has no problem kicking it out to open guys. So I think that's what kind of makes it all work. And then you bring in guys that are starting their college career like Kanye, like Evan, Kevo, bringing off the bench, bringing energy. It's a really good dynamic that we've had.
Last question.
So, Andrew, last 3 games in this building, 20 points, 23 points, 23 points again today. Is it something about the Bryce Jordan Center that just been kind of getting you going lately?
Yeah, definitely. It's at home cooking, I guess. I love playing in here. I thought the crowd today was great, and they definitely keep me going, give us energy. They turn our 4-0, 6-0 runs into 8-0, 10-0 runs, and gives me a lot of energy, gives me a lot of confidence, and it definitely got some home cooking going on in the BJC. So it's been good so far.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.